We started the recording. It's on.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Heat Team Call. We are so excited that you're all here and excited for a special guest tonight. And just if you don't know me, I'm Sandy Estabola, one of the NMDs on the Heat team. And what I think, just a snippet, what I love the most, I joined this amazing team and company because I fell in love with Juice Plus. But what my surprise has been is the incredible people, the incredible company behind it. And it has just been a great experience. And along the way, I've met some incredible people. And Loren, Slocum, Lahav is one of those people. And what I love about her is she is so real and she's raw and she has a heart the size of she is Robbins for 28 years. She was 2, right? When she started. And she's a national marketing director with our company, an international speaker and author. And if you don't know Loren, you will fall in love with her just like we all have. And I will say she has the largest, largest, quickest growing organization worldwide, which is pretty amazing. Loren?
Hi, Sandy.
Hi.
Thank you. Thank you for having me tonight. And I am so grateful for the amazing friendships. That's really been for me as I look at all just the names on here. I mean, just from you to Nikki and Chris and oh my gosh, and just Michelle. I could go on and on about the people. I can't see everybody that's on right now, but I'm extremely grateful to be on your call this evening. And I'm going to hold it to half an hour. I'll tell you why. Today is the birthday of a dear friend of ours, unfortunately someone who passed away. And so we're going to be doing a birthday party for her to honor her. But she was an amazing distributor as part of our team and a dear friend. And thanks to Juice Plus, she, beat the odds for a really long time. And we should be happy about that, she was able to live a lot longer than normal, would have happened. And I think along the way as well, the amazing friendships that all the people that are coming over tonight are actually all on her team. And so it's a beautiful thing as well. So Sandy, what do you want me to talk about?
Wanted you to tell your amazing story, how you got started, why you got started, and how you built this incredible team, what's working best for your team.
Okay. So those of you that do not know my story, I'll share with you. I heard about NSA, the Juice Plus company, back in 1989. And you're right, I wasn't really born yet. I was in my 20s and I was working 4 jobs to stay above ground in Southern California. And I worked at the Del Mar racetrack as the winner circle girl. I worked at Nordstrom. I worked at the Belly Up. Wherever I could. And then one day, a friend of mine, his name was Steve Sherman. We worked together in Vail, Colorado. He would come to the summers in San Diego. And he came to my house and he shared a water filter with me. And he goes, look, you try this for a week. After a week, if you don't like it, you can give it back. He came back a week later. I loved it. I bought it from him. And I told everybody to go. I said, where do I tell everybody to go get these things? And he goes, tell them to come to me. Well, about 6 months later, he goes, look, there's a party in Memphis, Tennessee. Do you want to go? I said, absolutely. That sounds like fun. So I showed up at this party in Memphis and they go, hey, there's this conference taking place if you want to come with us tomorrow. And I went to the conference, took notes like crazy. And I looked at my friend Steve. I'm like, oh my gosh, you didn't tell me that there was a business attached to it. So so I got a little bit like, oh, he didn't tell me about it. And so for about 17 years, I said no to Juice Plus. I got to be good friends with Jeff Roberti. He would come to Tony Robbins events and I'd meet him and I'd see him with his Juice Plus. And then so he came to a program I was teaching in Irvine, California 10 years ago. I was at the Island Hotel for 3 weeks and my daughter was just 4 months old. I was teaching 3 weeks back to back, loved what I did, but my money was gone before I'd even made it. All the money went to pay for the nanny and then went to pay for the other nanny that was back home. And so Tony was coming out with these new health products, and I went up to this doctor that I was interviewing there, and I said, well, what can I take because I'm nursing? She goes, you can't take any of these products. I said, well, what can I give my kids? She goes, you can't give your kids any of these products. And Jeff overheard me, and I say his Snoopy years went up, and he goes, you know, you can give your kids Juice Plus, and you can take Juice Plus as well. Well, I had the I'm too cool syndrome. I'm sure you've met people like me. I'm the one that knows everything about nutrition. No one's going to tell me any different. And he goes, look, Loren, just come to our conference and tell me no. And you guys are like, if you're on this call right now, and you're not signed up for conference, I hope that this call really pushes you over the edge. Because I said, you know, Jeff, I'm too busy. I've been away from home for 3 weeks, writing my second book. I don't have time. You know, it's just ridiculous. And then as I was talking to Jeff, my phone rang, and it was a friend of mine. Her name's Amanda Brink, and she was diagnosed with lupus. And she had tried everything. And so she hung up because I was in conversation, and then she called back. And I look at Jeff and I go, when is that conference? He goes, it's in 2 days. I go, I'm going. And he goes, why did you decide to change your mind? I go, look, if all it does is help my friend Amanda, then it's worth it. And I go, I'm not doing the business. I'll send everybody to you, but at least I'll go to the conference, and I'm going to tell Jeff or Bernie no. So I went to the conference, and I saw how mission driven it was with regards to everything that they supported St. Jude. I love Dr. Sears, a raving Dr. Sears fan. So I saw that he was one of the first speakers. Then they presented research at that one, and happened to be on autoimmune disorders. And then the lady came up to the stage, Rome Mellencove, gave her NMD speech. And back then it was like 3 people that were giving their NMD speeches. And one lady, I wish I could remember who it was, but she was like, I travel on the road 250 days a year. I have 9 children. I this and that. And I'm like, oh my gosh, all my excuses are out the window. And I started calling people. And I said, I don't know, but I called at conference, and I called people. I said, I don't know, but it sure makes sense to me. And before I'd even signed a distributor application, I have 14 people that wanted to be distributors with me and join my team. So I was like, I guess I better do this. And I said to Jeff, I go, how many, countries are we in? And he said, he told me, and I'm like, okay, well, I know somebody in all those countries. Whoops, hang on a second. I'm going to answer the phone. I apologize. Those people are coming. Sorry, this is life, right? Sorry about that. Hang on. Yes, please let everybody in. Thank you. Bye. Okay, so I went to conference, and I, as I said, and then I got my team going, and I went to work. I did profile sheets. I looked at Jeff and Cheryl, and I said, just tell me what I need to do, because I'm sure, like many of you, you have lots of great ideas, and I thought, I need to follow what works. And they gave me the winning formula, I think, and I just, established a great DMO. They said events are non-negotiable, 3-way calls, profile sheets, putting on customers, putting on distributors. And I went to work, and our team grew very quickly to national marketing director. I didn't understand the power of the clubs. Had I understood power of clubs, I probably think our organization would have grown quicker. But then once I understood the power of clubs, and I think right now we're at about 50-something national marketing directors worldwide. This is my 10th year with Juice Plus. But I will tell you something. I'm going to tell you what I believe really the most powerful thing is with regards to growing your business. And I do believe it's the power of working and establishing great sideline supports. I look at, and I have a lot of people to thank on this line, honestly. And I don't say that every time that I, do a call, but, Chris and Nikki, when they came and asked me to speak, what was that, 8 years ago? They didn't really know me very well, but they asked me to come speak at their event. And I established a great relationship with them. Lisa and I established a great relationship together and got to be good friends. And she was really a great support for me when I was going through my divorce. She didn't know me super well, but she was amazing support for me. Same thing with Sandy and Michelle. When I moved here, when I was here in Las Vegas, I didn't have a lot of great friends. So I think where people honestly miss out is really tapping into the beauty and the power of sideline support, doing events together, working together. I mean, if they have anybody here, I want to support them. And hopefully, if I have people in their areas, that they'll support our team as well. I've kept it very simple. I don't complicate things. The minute that I start complicating things, I think the harder that it got. But I really plug into events. I follow my DMO no matter what. You know, when people say, oh, your DMO is different when you become a national marketing director, I don't agree with that. I think that, you know, you need to be your best distributor, and, you know, and that you've got to touch your business every single day. So I'd say that, you know, the biggest thing for me is, you know, I ask myself every single day, who can I help? Who can I serve? That doesn't mean I like throw up Juice Plus all over them, but I'll drip on people for a really long time. I have my DMO. I'm going to take you around my house as well. It might get a little loud here in a second. But, you know, I created a DMO that I still follow today. And that's, I say, it was probably one of the biggest things is that, and also just really be patient with people, but also the power. There you go. Sorry. Dogs and people and everything. Sorry. I'm taking you on a tour as everybody's doing this. I'm taking you to show you two things. One thing that I'm going to show you. This is my journal. This is my journal, as I said, after my dog stops barking. This is my journal from December 1990 when I showed up at that conference and I wrote NSA plans. You know, financially make $5,000 a month consistently. How develop a strong, committed, educated team that's compassionate and consistent. To do weekly meetings and trainings. To stay in San Diego after I've developed my organization. Why NSA? Love the people, group dynamics, products, the incentives, best expansion, follow through results, the environment. You know, get better at public speaking. Plan new meetings with people, attend the conference in Phoenix, right? All of these things. I wrote this in 1990. And guess what I did? I did nothing. I did nothing for 17 years. So there's a lot of people, I think, that you might think, oh, they're not going to do anything. They're not going to do their business, or, you know, but here's what I will tell you. And the biggest gift was that Jeff had with me, and he understood the power of relationships. And I think when you really understand the power of relationships and nurturing those relationships, your business will grow like you can't even imagine. I can't tell you how many people, you know, when they see they look and they see that I'm consistent, that they start to show up again. You know, I have a friend that she said, sign me up. And sign you up for what? She goes, sign me up for that Juice Plus. And I'm like, I go, how do you know about Juice Plus? And she goes, I've been watching you for 9 years, right? So you just never know when the time's going to be right. But I have to thank Jeff Roberti every single day of my life for being patient with me and knowing when the right time was for me. So the other thing, and I'll share a skill with you that I like to share with everyone. That's something that I learned years ago. And that was, you know, it's called bend wind. First think is, what do people believe? So think about you for a second. What do people believe about you? Do they believe that you're a good person, that you have good intentions, that your heart is in the right place, that you have a great work ethic? What do people really believe about you? Because you should help your team understand that when you start to have them think about who they are and what they stand for in the world, you know, they shouldn't have any fear about approaching people because they know who they are, right? If you talk to Gary Vee, the very first thing that he says, most important thing is to know who you are and what you stand for. He said the second thing that's most important for you is to hustle. You got to hustle. And the third most important thing with anything is you've got to be empathetic, right? You got to understand where people are at. So one, knowing who you are, what you stand for. And like I said, for me, every day I say to myself, who can I help? Who can I serve? Whether it be through a smile, whether it be putting the grocery cart back, or whether it be sharing Juice Plus. That's who I am. That's my identity. So that identity piece is so important. And it's our responsibility when we're starting new distributors, and even when we have people that say that they're stuck or anything else, is to help them really identify who they are so that they are proud of who they are and that it shows up in their business and it shows up in all areas of their life. I hope this is helpful for you. So B is, what do they believe? What do they believe about fruits and vegetables? What do they believe about network marketing? Or, someone might go, oh, is this one of those things? And you go, no, this isn't one of those things. And then they go, oh, that's a bummer. I really like those things, right? So that you make assumptions based on someone's going to say something negative. You don't know, right? So what do people believe? E is how do they evaluate, judge, right? People are going to judge. They're going to make judgments. So are they judging based on, do the products actually work? Are you consistent? Are you getting great results? How do they evaluate? These are important things to know when you're dealing with people. Evaluate. And what do they need? Do they need to know the research is there? Do they need to know that you're going to be there if they have a question? Do they need to know that the company, has the highest standards? Do they need to know that they're going to have the support? What do they need? I think the biggest mistake that we all make, again, is we assume that people are going to want what we want. We don't know. D, what do they desire? And people will always do more for their desires than they'll ever do for their needs, right? They'll always do more for their desires than they'll ever do for. So what do they really want? Is it they want freedom? Do they want, do they want financial freedom for themselves? Do they want time freedom for themselves? Do they want to be able to take a trip? You got to find out, what do they really, really desire? And the big one is, what are their wounds? What's their pain? If they had a bad experience in the past, are they sick? Are they, do they want to just bring in their own income? What are their wounds? If they lost everything? I mean, you just don't know what someone's wounds are. They'll tell you. People love to talk about themselves, so let them. What do they love to do? What are their interests? Who are their mentors? Who are people they really look up to? And P, what are they proud of? And when you really start to focus and really make those relationships a priority, everything becomes so much more in flow, if you would. So that's the big thing that I would share with you guys. And I've really nurtured relationship. I can't tell you how many people, actually I probably can tell you how many people, just in the past 2 months, I've had 6 people that were in my business in the very beginning and have come back to the business now, because they've watched that I've been consistent. They've watched that I've nurtured those relationships. I've always just kept in touch in it. Cheryl always says, keep them hanging around the flagpole, right? So remember their birthdays, remember their special days, put up, a post, maybe a picture of you and them with no, expectation, but just that you love and you cherish those relationships. So that's the big thing that I'd say. The other thing is, and I know that, everybody talks so much about social media. I want to share a couple things with you just really quick with regards to social media. And Danielle did such a great job. Thank you, Danielle did a great job last night for our team about social media. Your job, your job on social media is to build relationships. That's your job, and to add value. But here's the thing. Jeff always says this, and I don't know who else always says it, but concepts are constant. So concepts are constant, which is we get paid to put on new customers and put on new distributors and teach other people to do the same. So that's the outcome. The concept is to put on customers, put on distributors, build relationships, teach people to do the same. But the way that it's being done, and social media just happens to be one of those tools that we have to do that. And another great analogy would be that the TV has now become the radio, and the new TV is social media. So when you're thinking about your page or your social media and whatever you post on social media, you've got to think about, what am I saying about me? What channel are they tuned into? Are they tuned into the news, right? Are they tuned into the Discovery Channel? Are they tuned into the cooking channel? Are they tuned into the Jerry Springer show? It's very important for you to understand that that's truly your identity that you're building. So when you're thinking about what is that channel that I want to be known for, I love that it makes me feel good that the way that Sandy introduced me was, that I'm real and raw. That's how I want to be known. I want to be known as the real deal, someone who's real and raw. I'm not going to sugarcoat things. I mean, I'll kick you in the butt and I'll hug you at the same time. So that's my identity. So the most important thing that you can do is create your identity, within this business. And I'm not talking about branding at all. I'm actually talking about when people think of you, what do they think of? Right? That you know that they're going to take care of them, people, that they know that they're going to do this, that they know they're going to do that. So I'd encourage all of you guys to go on a little bit of a discovery, because I think that's what our team has done so well. And the other thing that everybody events, if you guys want to know about, and I'm sure many of you are very curious about, what's going on in Australia. Guess what? What's happening in Australia was what was happening when the UK was jamming, when power of events. They do so many events and they are so consistent. When Adam Westwick started, I remember doing a call with him and I go, so what are you doing? He goes, Loren, I'm going to do 2 events no matter what every single week. 2 events no matter what. And that was when he was in SDVF, which is a VF. And guess what? As a minimum, he personally does 2 events a week. So from the very beginning, and he teaches to teach, right? And it's all about events, whether they're Zoom call events, they're live events. But the more events that you do, the better results you're going to get. The power of numbers. We all know the power of numbers. And there's also social proof for people. But if you look at what happened with the UK just even years ago, when everything's really, really booming, tons and tons of events. So events are the foundational tool. The other thing is keeping it really simple. Just finding out what people really desire and how you're going to help them get there, right? What are you going to do? And then just give them 1, 2, 3 things to do, and then make sure that they do those things. Once they've done those things, then you give them the next step. But they are very systematic, they're very consistent, and they're not trying to reinvent the wheel. And if you look at their, social media pages, a lot of those people, they're just adding tons of value. Tons of value. So what is it? I know that Danielle shared a great thing last night that anybody can do, and that was with the Healthy Revolution, the layout of what to post each day, right? Like I used to do like Motivational Monday, Thirsty Thursday, Forever Friend Friday, right? What's it going to be that people are going to bring you to your page that's exciting for you, that you're going to get excited about adding that value? Right? Like I was sharing last night, my job, I should definitely not be adding, I should not be the cooking channel at all. Right? I mean, I shouldn't, because the only thing I like to cook for is Thanksgiving. So, but should I put recipes down about smoothies? Yes, because I love smoothies, right? Or salad recipes? Yes, because you want to be authentic, and people, it's not the fake it till you make it 80s or 90s anymore. People want to know that you're the real deal. I took you on my journey of my home right now so that yes, you can still build a business when your dog's barking. Yes, you can still build a business sitting on the floor in your bedroom. Yes, you can still do those things. And so when people see that, they go, oh my God, like I can do it that way. And all those excuses are gone. So I hope this is helpful for you. My biggest gift for you is that I wish for you is the gift that Jeff and Cheryl shared with me. And that was focusing 3 to 5 years. 3 to 5 years. And I even tell other people with other companies, when they go, why, I want to consider Juice Plus. I go, do me a favor. I go, have you given the company you're with a strong 3 to 5 years? And they're like, what? I go, I want to make sure that you get the company that you're with a strong 3 to 5 years right now. And once you've given that a strong 3 to 5 years, then we can talk. Because here's the truth. Wherever you go, you still take you with you, right? Those same habits, those same things. So, the most important ingredient is you. People buy you. Why should people, be on your team versus anybody else's team? What makes you unique? What is the added value that you're really going to bring for people? So, I would say to you, 3 to 5 years. I wish I had my notes right here. I actually just found a journal that I did from just a couple years ago. And when you give it that strong 3 to 5 years and if you put your goggles on, and you just swim and you're consistent, you will get your outcomes. So, what is it that you're going to do 3 to 5 years for yourself? And when you've given it a really strong, I will tell you, even though I've been in the business 10 years, I went through, life challenges. And so I didn't give it a strong yes some of those years, right? Or then I met my husband and I was in La La Land for a year. And then, so honestly, this year, my 10th year, is when I can honestly say I've given it a strong 5. I've given it, of those 10 years, I've given a very strong, yes for 5 of those years. And then the final thing that I'm going to share with you is, I love taking people on a tour of my home. What you do, I truly believe that what you do first thing in the morning is the most important thing that you can do. And every day I wake up, and, I think it was kind of hard. It's probably still a little raw for some of us here in Las Vegas. And I know for many of you in California, I just found out today that the girl who was the photographer for my book, my mom book, that, she just lost everything. They moved to California because her son has Asperger's. And up in Santa Rosa, I guess the school with this for these autistic children, it's to the ground. But every day, and it was hard, I think, to say this, to myself after what happened here in Las Vegas. But every day I wake up and I say, today's going to be the best day of my life again. And I did say it that day, the next day, after what happened here. And I'm like, how can I help? I asked myself the same question. How can I help? How can I serve? Here's what I will tell you. And I might have, if you saw it before, angry people get angry. Sad people get sad. People that want to help and add value, they go and add value. Be that person that goes and add value no matter what. And this is what I do. See if you can see it here. This is what I see. This is my goals. This is my quarterly goals. And then these are my manifestation boards. And the reason I share those boards with you is it's nothing about stuff. It's all about who do I need to become? How do I need to show up? So if I look at this, it says I am quick, I am curious, I'm playful, I'm strong, I'm stay connected, over 1 million people to thank, influence, and so I look at all those different areas of my life, in my finances, in my contribution, in my family, in my relationships, in my health, in my identity of how I show up in the world. And I look at that and I go, that's who I need to be every single day. And so I would encourage all of you, to really look and see, what do you do first thing in the morning that really gets you fired up? Because when you're fired up about what this amazing mission and this amazing company is, you can't help but go out there and do this. You can't help but go out there and share this unbelievable mission that we have. Because you look and you're like, it says positive every single day. Smart is beautiful. Look great. Right? And then I have certain outcomes that I have with people to get to NMD. I have their names up there. Suzanne Sadie, Nancy Ross, Vel, Joss, us to be a certain club, doing all of those things. And that's what I focus on. So I hope this has been helpful for you guys. I know I might have been a little bit all over the place, but I hope that it's been something that you can use and that you at least take, and use some of these elements. And maybe the one thing that you do is that you just really think about, what does 5 years look like for you from now? What does it look like? And and you'll be blown away when it really happens, when you stay consistent, focused. So anyway.
Loren, thank you so much. I took copious notes. I love that I don't know, but it sure makes sense to me. And that, for anyone who's brand new that thinks they have to have it all and know what to say, that's just a great line.
And that's the truth though, right? Like, I don't know, but it couldn't hurt anything. All it's going to do is, if you're on medications, it's going to help you absorb your medications better. If anything, I don't know. I sure have a lot of great, people that are doing really great. I don't know. So anyway.
Thank you so much. And I would love to have people ask questions, but it is 6:30. We are honoring your time. And thank you so much. Can everyone take themselves off mute now?
Thank you, Loren, so much.
Tell Loren, thank you. And
Thank you, Loren.
I love you, Loren.
Thank you,
Good to
Loren.
hear from you.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Loren.
Good night.
Snooky.